For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. Hurricane Ian has left a path of destruction in southwest Florida, trapping people in flooded homes, damaging the roof of a hospital intensive care unit, and knocking out power to 2.5 million people. It's now aiming for the Atlantic coast as a tropical storm. One person is confirmed dead. A Lee County sheriff said he believes fatalities are in the hundreds. One of the strongest hurricanes to ever hit the U.S. has drenched the Florida peninsula overnight, threatening catastrophic flooding. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis spoke at a briefing this morning and says there's mass damage, hazards, and help is on the way.
You have a lot of hazards right now. We have had 26 states provide support. We really appreciate that. It's going to be put to use. This is, I don't think we've ever seen an effort mobilized for this many rescues this quickly, but we appreciate it, and we will make good use of it. We want people to be safe. Those who have, who are in need of life support right now, help is on the way. The impacts of this storm are historic, and the damage that was done has been historic, and this is just off initial assessments. We've never seen a flood event like this. We've never seen storm surge of this magnitude.
He says search and rescue efforts are underway, including at a Florida Fawcett Hospital in Port Charlotte, where Hurricane Ian flooded the emergency room and ripped off the roof. The damage has forced patients into just 2 of the hospital floors. Russia says it will formally annex occupied parts of Ukraine Friday, where it held what Ukraine calls proxy referendums. Russia says the votes this week show overwhelming support to live under Moscow's rule. Ukraine and the West have denounced the ballots as illegal, forced, and rigged. Russia's President Vladimir Putin will attend a ceremony in the Kremlin Friday when 4 regions of Ukraine will be officially folded into Russia. Meanwhile, Russian shelling hit several parts of Ukraine today as troops appeared to lose more ground around the key northeastern city of Lyman. The European Union President Ursula von der Leyen says they'll cap the price of Russian oil as part of another round of sanctions against Russia for its escalating war in Ukraine.
We do not accept the sham referendum and any kind of annexation in Ukraine, and we're determined to make the Kremlin pay for this further escalation. So we propose sweeping new import bans on Russian products. This will keep Russian products out of the European market and deprive Russia of an additional 7 billion euros in revenues. We're also proposing to extend the list of products that cannot be exported to Russia anymore. The aim is here to deprive the Kremlin's military complex of key technologies.
And the Biden administration is gearing up for a new round of sanctions. Christopher Martinez has more.
Officials in Washington, D.C. are talking war crimes, sanctions, and announcing new military aid to Ukraine.
And today, the United States is announcing an additional $1.1 billion package of weapons and equipment for Ukraine. This includes 18 new high-mobility artillery rocket systems, and also known as HIMARS.
Besides the HIMARS rocket systems and ammunition, the new aid includes 150 Humvees, tactical vehicles to tow artillery and carry heavy equipment, drones, body armor, and more. It's all, at least in part, a response to the sham referenda on independence held in the Russian-occupied areas of Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson. Not surprisingly, the announced results were as much as 99% in favor of joining the Russian Federation. Ned Price is a spokesperson for the U.S. State Department.
These results were concocted in Moscow, not collected in Ukraine. Let's be clear. This is the will of Moscow, not the free will of Ukraine or its people.
Ukraine was a topic in the halls of Congress. Eli Rosenbaum is Director of Human Rights Enforcement and Strategy at the U.S. Justice Department.
If you are daring to consider obeying a criminal order, you should worry. We have a long memory here in the United States.
Reporting for Pacifica Radio News KPFA, I'm Christopher Martinez.
South Korea's military says North Korea has fired at least 1 ballistic missile toward its eastern waters. The launch today came hours after Vice President of the U.S., Kamala Harris, departed from South Korea, the last stop of a 4-day Asian trip in which she emphasized a U.S. commitment to defend its allies in the face of increasing North Korean threats.
In the north, we see a brutal dictatorship rampant human rights violations, and an unlawful weapons program that threatens peace and stability. The United States and the world seek a stable and peaceful Korean Peninsula, where the DPRK is no longer a threat.
Today's launch was the third round of missile tests by North Korea this week. In Oakland, California, at least 6 people were wounded in a mass school shooting. 2 are in critical condition. 3 of them were hospitalized. 1 suspect is on the loose. According to the Gun Violence Archives, Oakland's school shooting was one of 6 mass shootings in the last 48 hours and one of 510 mass shootings to take place this year across the country. That's more than 1 a day. I'm Christina Onnested, reporting for Pacifica Radio.